Hey, my gorgeous queens, this is your permission slip to absolutely piss people off. I'm going to talk about lots of ways that I piss people off, and I'm going to give you a permission slip to do the same, because this is a potent reminder for all of us that you're playing small doesn't help anyone. You're being a victim, you're being a martyr, doesn't help anyone. Your brilliance, your light, when you shine, when you're free, when you're in your bliss, there is a ripple effect that can be felt. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Jilly Godwood, intuitive mental energy healer. Coming onto this podcast today, had a few little blips. The tea in my cup decided to throw itself all in my desk. And there was a part of me that was going, maybe I shouldn't be doing it. I'm still cleaning up tea when I picked that up. But you know what? Fuck it. Because one of the permission slips that I give myself is not to be fucking perfect. Whoa. Do you know how often I see the most magnificent, talented, amazing, incredible goddesses who are not showing up in their lives, who are not showing up in their businesses, who are not showing up in their creativity because they don't think that they're perfect? Okay. Hello. I am a completely imperfect human. My hair isn't perfect. My background isn't perfect. I'm not perfect. I fuck up all the time. But I give myself permission to do that because I have made a home within my heart that I can come back to the whole time, which is a place where I love myself, I honor myself, I give myself the nurturing, the care that I used to look for outside of myself. And when there's no more seeking for it outside of ourselves in the external world for the validation, when it's in here, the permission slip becomes our own inner sovereignty. Breathing that in, what a fucking relief it is to be able to be authentic, to be able to show up as yourself wherever you are, to be able to allow yourself to share your light. Do you know that when you are in your joy and your bliss, when you're happy, that you are just overflowing, and that is the most beautiful thing that you can do for the world? You know, the most beautiful thing that you can do for the world today is be in your full radiance, your sensuality, your power, your joy, your bliss, your laughter, your fun. You know, when you feel it, when you allow yourself to allow life just to move through you. I was sitting on the beach this morning, just allowing life just to come up through my chakras. I call it an earthgasm because it's just this energy that's just pulsing up, and it's like, you know, and I'm like vibrant and I'm alive and my body feels vital. And people keep saying to me, Jilly, you just look so great at the moment. I'm like, yeah, because I am sauteed in joy, honey. I am sauteed because I've given myself permission over the years to allow my goddess self to shine. And I don't actually care anymore whether that triggers people or whether it doesn't. And, you know, as a recovering people pleaser and as a harmonizer who could feel everything in the room, quite a big deal that. And I'm looking at you and I'm asking you where you hold back your light, where you're not, when someone says, how are you, where you don't share the thing that's really lighting you up. You know, someone said to me, how are you going with this full moon? And I mean, my life's not bliss all the time. Fuck no. I mean, I'm a human and I have my setups, but they move through more quickly as we do the work, because what's the fucking point of doing this work and spending all this money on inner work and looking at your shadows and dancing into them if you don't get the returns? I mean, I've been on a big journey, and, you know, I've had my face planted on the ground, basically, like literally, metaphorically, and eating the carpet, basically. That didn't sound right. Not eating the carpet, but, you know, facing the carpet. And just like going, what the actual fuck? Like, this is so fucking hard. But every time through doing the process and knowing how to actually move the energy through and using the tools and dancing into joy and creating more joy, that became like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It became like this energy that starts to move. And you start to see that when you dive in and you do all of this stuff, you actually come back to your home and your empowerment and your inner beautiful bliss that you've cultivated inside of you more quickly. And you have this beautiful light within you that holds you. So you're not searching out there for approval. Everyone's like, oh my God, my wounds are so this or that, and because of my parents. But our wounds are universal. They're all the same. Everybody wants to be loved. Every single human wants to be loved, and they will go about whatever way they can to get that love. Some of them are really messed up, but every single human wants to be loved. Most people do not feel that they are good enough. Deep down, they don't feel that they're worthy, that they're lovable. They feel rejectable. They seek approval from others in order to feel good about themselves. These are universal truths. The inner child literally is starved and crying out for that. And when we hold that part of ourselves, when we become really conscious and really, really aware, that is our permission slip. That gives us permission to live in more freedom, to live in more joy, to live in more sensuality, to live in more expansive creativity, to give ourselves permission to, just have fun with this experience that we're in. And if you're in the middle of something at the moment, and you're really activated, and you hear me saying this, it's probably really pissing you off. You're welcome. Quick story about this glass. My friend gave this to me for a big birthday, and I said, I won't drink from it tonight because that was back in my drinking days. I probably would have smashed it. But I said, but it's okay because every day is my birthday. So look, it's such a sexy glass. Oh, having joy with the little things. Like if you can see this is a little op shop find. Oh my God, I'm going to bring it close. Is that not the cutest thing that you have ever seen? And I put some geraniums in it. Oh, you're killing me. I mean, seriously. And then in my dress-up box, just before I came in, I found this ridiculous stuff that I was going to put on my head. And then I thought, you know what? I'll just chuck it up on this because it kind of looks cool. It's kind of fun. And you know what? I didn't even really figure out, but look, that looks quite cool. Kind of goes with that. Just having fun with the experience, just like I heard this thing on the Florence Given show, which you should all definitely get tuned into because she is all for the joy and she's cool and she has pink hair and she wears all gorgeous things. And she was talking about Marilyn Monroe and how Marilyn Monroe was walking along the road with someone and no one was noticing her. And then she said to the person, do you want to watch me transform into a magnetic woman? I don't think she actually said it like that, but she basically said, do you want to see what happens? And she turned her light on. She turned her magnetism on. And everyone was like, oh, Marilyn, and I know I talk about going to the supermarket a lot, but because as an empath, it used to be a really hard place for me to go. I know. And champagne problems. And going there now, it's so brilliant and exciting because I just turn my light on and I have fun with the experience. Like every place is a theater for me and every stage. It's like, what costume will I wear? How will I do my makeup? And I'm going to have fun with the experience. Yes, I do have a Leo moon, which does make me slightly theatrical. But this is your permission slip to play into all of your parts. Jilly, the intuitive mentor, the compassionate witness, the intuitive healer, all of that. I used to think that I had to hide this very Leo-esque, flamboyant, expressive, creative part of myself that is a rock star and that loves to get dressed up and loves to sing, play the guitar, all of that. And there was a slight judgment within myself. And I find this with a lot of us is that we judge parts of ourselves. We think, oh, I can't be that because I'm this, I can remember when I was an aerobic instructor but I was also like after class that night, having a few wines and a few ciggies. It was in my 20s, I know. But, like loving all of these parts because none of us are doing it perfectly. None of us are doing it perfectly at all. And I was thinking about the other day how I love to create. And this song was stuck in my head. And I haven't even really sorted out any chords for this. I today.